Okay, so in this class, this is an OET writing class, and we're going to look at something called the anatomy of an OET letter. I will explain what that means in the class, but the first thing to say is we're actually going to try to do three things today, okay? First, we'll talk about the anatomy of an OET letter. Then we're going to talk about layout of a letter. And then we're going to talk about paragraphs in your letter. Okay, so this is what we're trying to focus on today. And I want to start by asking a question. So let's try Tasnim, if you're there, or Rukaya. And
Yes.
Hello. Okay, so what does anatomy mean? Do you know what that word means?
Anatomy, I think it's the physical appearance of something.
The physical appearance. Is that right, Rukaya? Do you agree with that? Anna Louise?
Yeah.
Ellen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan,
Physical
it's like the format of the letter.
Oh, the format. So we're getting close now. So, well, physical appearance. Guys, let me show you a picture. Yes and no. I would say anatomy is like physical appearance. I mean, this is an anatomy, right?
Yes.
So what is it? It's not just the appearance. What is it? Anyone? Rita? Marwa? What does anatomy mean? Physical appearance?
I would like to say, this is Rita, maybe the structure.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for. Exactly, Rita. Anatomy is like the structure of, usually we use it for body, right? Of usually a body. Okay, so for example, we have the lungs here, right? Brain here. It's the structure. It's where where things are. Okay, you guys know this. Yeah, you know this much better than me. Probably you can teach me this body anatomy, right? I don't know anything about this really, apart from some basics. But today I want to focus on not the anatomy of the body. What are we going to focus on today, guys?
Anatomy of the letter.
Anatomy of an OET letter. Okay. So what does that mean exactly? Well,
the structure of the letter.
The structure, but in OET, what is the structure? What structures do we look at?
One of format.
Well, format, yes, but actually, I'm going to say L.
Layout.
Okay, so we're going to look at the layout of a letter. What does layout actually mean? Elif, what does layout mean? You can see layout here. What is layout? No, Alif. Okay, Marwa, Talita, Ronica. What does layout mean? What does that actually mean? Rukaya as well.
Functioning.
How the letter
Function.
is
Heading.
Function. The layout of letter is the
Position of paragraph.
Position. There we go. Position of the things, right? So the layout of a human body, brain is here, right? Brain is not here. Right? So it's where do things go? Where do things go? So we'll look at that today. We'll look at exactly where does the address go, right? The position of the address, the position of the date, the RE line, all of that stuff. We're also, though, going to look at paragraphing. Okay? What is a paragraph? Omi, can you tell us? What is a paragraph?
Paragraph, I think the group of the word in the same line, it gives you some information about some things. For example, one paragraph about medication, one paragraph about care plan.
Great, I'll put that here as example. One paragraph about medication only, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, these are the two things I want to talk about today. This is the first class. This week we'll be looking at lots of different things connected with how to write an OET letter. But today we're focusing on the anatomy of a letter, which to me just means layout. and it means paragraphing. Okay. So let's get started with this layout of a letter. I'm going to show you a letter. Is everyone ready if I show you a letter?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a really beautiful letter. Oops, let's get rid of layout here. So this is a really beautiful letter that you can see. Oops, you can see here. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's just go through this basically. So I'm going to ask for Ginny or Shara. Can you say hello?
Yes, hello.
So we're doing a kind of anatomy of a letter. What is this, please?
This is for the date we wrote.
Is that correct, guys? Is this the date? Of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Now, first question. Do we always put the date here?
No.
No,
Oh,
And it
you
be-
can put it
put under the
Under
address.
the
after
address.
this, after
Exactly,
the address.
right? And it doesn't matter.
Yes,
You can put it here, according to
Or
OET.
there.
You can put it there or there. Doesn't matter, okay? You cannot put the date here,
No.
only above or below the address. Okay, Elif, Amelia, Priyanka, can you say hello?
Hello.
Hello, Priyanka, what's this then?
This is the address.
Address. Okay. Now, people often ask me about commas, okay? The commas, where do the commas go in the address? For example, do I put a comma here? Nurse in charge, comma. Is that okay, guys? Yes or no?
No.
No. No.
Is it?
No.
Right?
No.
No comma.
We don't put commas after the name or the role. Do we
Yeah.
put commas after the district nursing service, comma?
No.
What do you all think? Yes or no? Everyone, don't be shy. District
No.
No,
No.
No, no, right? Not after the name,
N-
not after the job title,
no,
not
No.
after the name of the building. This is the name of the building, right? Or the organization. We never put commas there. The commas only go inside the address. Does that make sense? So maybe
Yes.
here, you can put the comma here, okay? But Angela, do we actually need commas in the address? Do we need it? What do you guys think? Do I actually need to put a comma here?
No.
No.
I don't
no.
think so.
Actually, no,
No, but
right? So look,
if it, Alan, if it is writing on the writing notes, I think so, and it's showing the comma and everything, we have to mention, but depending.
you actually don't, officially speaking, you don't need any commas here, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the only comma you would need would be maybe this one. You need this, but you don't need to put commas at the end of the line. Does that make sense, guys?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
microphones off, please. Microphones off. No commas needed at end of line. You can do it if you want. I'm not saying you cannot do it, but look, the easiest way is just don't have any commas, okay? Even for here for Grenville, can everyone see here Grenville? Probably better to get rid of this and put this on a separate line. Does that make sense, everyone? Put it onto a separate line, okay? And you don't need your commas in that case. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
Right, so I get rid of this. I'm going to put Grenville, copy paste Grenville, different line. Okay, any other questions about addresses? Students often ask me a lot about addresses. It's really simple. Don't need commas. You can use a separate line, okay? Any questions? Oh, Tasnim, go on, please.
Yes, Alan. What about the capital? The beginning of like this nurse. Should always I have to put a capital letter?
Yes, in addresses, yes. Capitals for the title, capitals everywhere, right? Capital here, everywhere, yeah.
Okay,
On
thank you.
addresses, we always put capitals. Great question. Great question. So guys, no commas needed, but capital letters, yes, are always needed. Does this make sense, everyone? Should be easy, really. Okay, so date, layout, date, address. What's next? Julie, can you say hello here, Julie? Help us out. Or if we could have Noam, Shara,
Yes, sir.
Monica.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
What do we
sir.
call this? What's this called?
Um,
Sir, madam.
Salutation.
Yeah, who said that? Fantastic. That's the exactly correct name. What did you say again?
Salutation.
Salutation. Okay. Now we can say dear sir or madam, or do we always say this? Dear sir or madam?
No, sometimes we don't
No.
know the name.
If we don't know the name, we can say dear. Can we say, look, what does it say here, guys?
Madam, ma'am.
Carol, ma'am.
Now,
Dear
don't
all.
say ma'am. Don't say ma'am. That's a bit informal. Okay. What does informal mean? Ma'am. This is very informal.
Informal, it means it's not good to input in your letter because we need formal word.
What does informal actually mean? Can anyone help her? What does it mean?
Not
It's not
professional.
Not
official.
professional.
Not
Not
Professional
official.
sounding, right? So instead of ma'am, we say
Madam,
madam.
Madam.
So you can say dear sir or madam.
Mr.
If you don't know the name, okay? What if we do know the name? If the name is given, what do we do?
You
Have
put
to
it
Write
down.
the
you have to
name.
write it.
Exactly.
The
Use
name,
the surname.
the surname, right? So it might be dear, yeah, we can put the name,
Date.
okay? The name of the person you are writing to, you can put it here, okay? If you have it. If you don't have it, dear sir or madam, okay? Any questions? Elif, yes. Go on, Elif.
Do I need to write surname?
Yeah, usually you would say like Mr. It doesn't matter. You can say the full name or just the surname. Both of them are okay.
Okay, thank you.
But you cannot use only first name. So it's the last name or both names. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
You can't say dear Paul. That's informal, right? But you can say dear Paul Craven, right? You can't say dear Alan, but you can say dear Alan Wenham. That's formal, okay? All right, what's next? What's this RE line? Can anyone tell me? What is RE here? What do we call this?
Regarding.
Regarding.
I just call it the RE line. Yeah, the regarding line. Regarding line, I guess. And what are we doing in this? Rukaya, Anna,
Yeah.
Marwa. What are
Hi,
we
Alan. You are writing the full name of the patient plus
Yeah.
the date of birth.
So you can see here, Mrs. Margaret Helen Martin. That's very good. You have RE like this, guys. This is very good here. Then you have comma, and
Yeah.
then you have the age. Can I have the DOB as well, guys?
Yes.
You can. Now, does it matter? Age or DOB?
No, it doesn't.
You can have whichever one is better, okay?
Yes.
In your exam, don't waste time calculating the age. Is that clear? If you
Yes.
only have DOB, just write DOB, date of birth, okay? If you only have the age, just write age. What's the difference between a DOB and an age? Rita, what's the difference between a DOB and an age? Can you tell us, Rita?
With the DOP, you just give the out numbers, but with the age, you have to write the number plus age or maybe aged.
Yeah, you can say 81 years old like this, or you can say, you're right, aged 81, like that. Yeah, aged 81. Exactly. Okay, fantastic. Guys, don't be afraid to ask me questions if you have any, okay? Now, what's missing here? Ronica, Talita, Ginny, something is not here and should be here?
Date of birth.
No, as I say, we have the age.
Ah,
The
I see.
age or the DOB
Into
is fine.
parentheses.
Okay, let me just put this age or DOB is okay. You don't need both. You don't need both. Okay.
Separate paragraph.
What's missing?
Hyphen.
Hyphen. Very often we'll put hyphens in here like a line. You're right. But I mean in the letter in general. Here's, guys, here's the hyphen. You can
And the age, it's missing.
no, not just this line. What's missing in general? Come on, guys. What's missing?
You're sincerely nurse.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now, Julie, can you say hello? Tasnim, Rukaya,
Yeah.
Awa.
Yes,
Yes.
What do I say here? Yours sincerely?
No.
If we
Yours
know the
faithfully,
leader, we can put
because
yours sincerely.
If we know them already.
yes.
Yes.
By this letter, we don't know the reader, so it's yours faithfully.
Yours faithfully.
Okay, so if we don't know them, yours faithfully. If we know them, yours sincerely. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
So if we have the name, if I have the name, do I know them or not know them? If I have the name.
I know them.
You know them.
Know them.
Know them.
Professionally, they would be known. Make sense?
Yes.
So known. If I don't have the name, or no. Okay. Now, guys, does this really matter a lot in your letter? Are you going to fail your exam because you make a mistake here? Does it really matter? Answer is no. Okay, so don't worry about this too much. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Should you say nurse or should you give your name? Anna, should you write Anna or should you just write nurse? Doctors, if you're a doctor watching this, doctor. What do we think? Does it matter?
doesn't matter. If it is not unknown, we can put just the nurse.
It does. Well, this is you, so you know yourself, right? So you can, Anna, you can put your name if you want or not. Doesn't matter, okay? What do we call this, guys? What's the name of this? Anyone? What do we call this line? Anyone know the name of it? It's the sign. Just keep microphones off, please, guys. Keep your microphones off. This is called the sign-off line. Okay, sign. Well, I call this the sign-off line. Different names, different things. Okay, so this is the layout of the letter. Okay, date at the top or below the address. Date at the top or below the address. Then you have the address. Then you have the salutation. Then you have the RE line. Then you have the sign-off line at the end. Does that make sense, everyone? Any questions? I know this is fairly basic, but I think it's important to review these things. Okay, fantastic. So this is the layout of the letter, okay? But it's not the only thing. What do we call this? What's that? What are these, guys?
Paragraph.
Introduction.
Paragraphs.
It's the paragraph.
Timeline.
Yeah, exactly. So we have the layout, okay? But now let's talk about the paragraphs. Where does the word count start? Camelia, can you say hello? Omi, Rukaya, Tasnim?
Yes.
From the body of the letter.
Yeah, will they count these words here?
No.
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 Guys,
No.
your word count starts here.
From introduction to
Introduction.
request.
Okay. Now, does it matter? Ginny, if you want to say hello. Priyanka,
Hello.
does it matter if you go over the word count?
No.
If you write more than, what is it? More than the word.
200.
Is it
200.
200? More than the
200.
word count? Answer is
Yeah.
no. Answer is actually no, right? They're
Yeah.
not going to penalize you for writing 5 extra words. Okay? They're not going to do that, which is very interesting. Okay? The word count is a guide only. What does that mean, guys? Word count is a guide only. A guide only? Anyone know what that means? Put your mic-
Direction.
A kind of direction. Yeah. Anyone else? What does it mean? A guide only here. Anyone?
As a suggestion?
Kind of, yeah, right? This is not like IELTS, where in IELTS you can actually lose marks if you don't have the right thing, okay? This is just a guide, a suggestion, okay? But we'll talk about that more later in future classes when we discuss summarizing, okay? Because summarizing is related to word count. Okay, so this is the layout of the letter. Let's talk about paragraphing now, okay? Because this is where it gets a bit more difficult, okay? Paragraphing. What do we call the first paragraph you will write, guys? What's the name of the first paragraph?
Introduction.
Now, the first question with paragraphing is this. Do we always do it the same way? What do you guys think? Always the same?
No,
No.
No.
it depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation. So the answer is no. Now, Tasnim, are
Yes.
there any paragraphs that we will always write? I know it depends on the
Sorry?
situation. I'll ask this to everyone.
Yeah.
Are there any paragraphs that we always write?
Request
Yes.
and
Yes.
Introduction and request.
Introduction and
Request.
The
request.
purpose of the letter.
So we're always going to write the introduction paragraph. And Talita, can you say hello? I'm going to put your microphone on, Talita. Angela, do you want to say hello? Mustafa, could you put your microphone on, please?
Yeah.
So, do we always do it the same way? No, but we always write the introduction and what?
Request paragraph.
Where's the request paragraph here? Where is that? The last,
Sorry?
right? So we always write the introduction and what's called the request paragraph, the last one, okay? Why? Why is that? Marwa, can you tell us? Why do we always write an introduction? This is easy. Why do we always write an introduction, Marwa?
to introduce the patient for the reader.
Yeah, of course, we need to introduce them, right? This is Helen Margaret. This is her illness, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do we always write this, though? This is the requests. Why do we always write that one? Can anyone help her here?
What
Why?
I need to from the reader.
Ooh, what you need. What does that mean? Okay, that's I really like that answer. Guys, she says what we need from the reader. Microphones off, please. Someone is making a lot of noise on the microphone. It's quite disturbing. Keep your microphones off and try to answer me as quickly as possible. It's very simple. Omi, can you say hello?
Yes, hello.
Omi, why do I need requests always? Why do I always need requests?
Because we always have some request from the reader. Because of this, we are writing the letter.
What is the requests? What actually is it? Requests from the reader?
Some things the patient needs, and we request from the caregiver.
Okay, request to the caregiver. Is that right, guys? Is it always the request to the caregiver? What is
Not always.
Not always, but guys, request paragraph is the task
Purpose.
of the reader, okay? And the purpose, yeah, in OET we call this the purpose of the letter, okay? So I think about it like this. This is a bit like a sandwich, okay? I call this the OET sandwich. You're always going to write paragraph 1, always. Doesn't matter, any situation you can write that. And you're always going to write the request paragraph, always. But inside your sandwich, that's going to change. Does that make sense, guys? This will change here. Just like a normal sandwich. For example, Noam, can you say hello? Julie? Gul?
Hello.
Do you always put the same thing inside your sandwich? When you make a sandwich, do you always put the same things inside?
No.
Sometimes,
but not always.
Why do you change it? Why do we, maybe you don't have lettuce. Why? Like
To
maybe,
change the taste.
well, think about it. Who's eating the sandwich, guys? Who will eat the sandwich? Everyone.
Me.
Maybe me, or maybe
Another one, yeah, another one else.
Other.
so when you make that sandwich, you're thinking, what sandwich does the person want to eat? Right? It's the same with an OET letter. It's the same with the letter. What OET sandwich does the reader want? Does that make sense? Does the
Yes.
reader want? So, for example, if let's say, guys, we're writing to a dietitian. Okay, just an example. We're writing to a dietitian. What do you think a dietitian is interested in, guys? What do you think a dietitian? What shall we give him in this inside the sandwich for a dietitian? What do you guys think? Anyone? Rita?
Background.
I think background. Why do you say background? Because
Because that's where the lifestyle is.
Lifestyle.
right? Okay. So I'm writing to a dietitian. Maybe inside my sandwich, I'm going to give the lifestyle first. Okay. Let's say though, imagine I'm writing to a specialist after an operation. What do we think we should have as paragraph 2 in this case? I'm writing to a specialist after a very important operation. Paragraph 2.
Timeline.
Maybe something like, well, what we call a timeline, and I'll explain what that means in this video, but maybe we're going to talk about the operation, right?
Yes.
The dates of the operation, the treatment, right? The treatment. Okay, so that's the basic idea of the OET sandwich. Does this make sense? Does anyone have any quick questions?
No.
Okay, fantastic. So there's something that must be inside your introduction paragraph. Does anyone know what must be inside the introduction? You
Rules of
must put it
leader.
according to-
Situation.
Say again?
Situation.
Situation, well, yeah, you should do that, but more important,
Why we are writing.
why we
The
are writing.
purpose.
This is called the purpose, Anna, and you know we speak about this all the time. But this is OET. This is not me, not my opinion. OET say that the purpose of the letter must be immediately clear. Okay, must be given. What do we mean by purpose, Priyanka? Can you give me an example of a purpose that you might see in OET? Like an example.
Like if I'm writing regarding Mr. name and then here's diagnosis of something
Okay. What's the purpose that you might write in?
he require further monitoring or care.
So monitoring, guys, right? Monitoring, fantastic. It could be assessment, right? Guys, give me some examples, everyone now. Monitoring, assessment,
Medication.
medication, assistance.
Ongoing
Procedure.
Treatment could be management.
Management.
care.
Yes.
Wound care, very common for nurses, right? Wound.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got to have that here, okay, according to OET. In your sandwich, always introduction and always the purpose, okay? The purpose is the task of the reader. Does that make sense? The purpose is the task of the reader. And this is probably the most important thing. When you write your letter, you must get this correct. What is the reader doing next? Okay. Now, what about the request paragraph, guys? Is there anything that must be in the request paragraph? What must be in the requests?
The care plan.
If there is a care plan, any sort of care plans, yes. If care plan, definitely care plan. Anything else, guys? What must be in your requests?
The reader need to do.
Anything, right?